If you are a woman considering a divorce, I would like to explain to you many of the questions and considerations that you should think about before you go forward with a divorce. There are many different ways to handle a divorce case. When you first come into an attorney's office to discuss the case, make sure you have a clear understanding of the objectives you wish to reach, what the lawyer's hourly rate is, and what you can anticipate in terms of fees. Keep in mind that you're going to have to come up with a retainer, and unless your husband is willing to advance you some monies or you're able to get at your bank accounts, you will have to go through the court process, and it may take several months before the court will order your husband to advance you attorney's fees. If the community has significant assets, then you stand a good likelihood of having the court order that the attorney's fees be advanced. Otherwise, you will have to have what we call a temporary orders hearing to have attorney's fees awarded to you on an interim basis so that you can continue having representation in the case. Child support payments are guaranteed by law. Once a child support order is signed by the court, it becomes effective, and child support will be guaranteed through what's called an order of assignment that will go to your spouse's employer, ordering the employer to withhold certain amounts of child support during the month. Typically this is done twice a month if your spouse is paid twice a month, or each paycheck, and it's calculated on a monthly amount. In Arizona, spousal maintenance is based on a number of factors. The amount of spousal maintenance and the length of spousal maintenance varies depending on your particular circumstances. For example, long-term marriages where the wife has been a stay-at-home mom raising the children, supporting her husband in his career, it's a strong likelihood that the court will award spousal maintenance, or as some folks refer to it, alimony. Spousal maintenance is to assist the non-working spouse, or the spouse that has a significantly less amount of income, to get back into the workforce and become self-sufficient. In Arizona, we used to have guidelines that the courts would consider. Now it's based on a number of factors that the court will look at, including differences in income, how the non-earning spouse contributed to the earning spouse's education, vocational advancement, etc. And each party will be required to fill out and file what's called an affidavit of financial information, or an AFI. That's a complete breakdown of monthly income and a monthly budget or household expenses. Everything from your rent, your utilities, gas, car payment, dry cleaning, donations, church dues, everything you spend on a monthly basis will be compared to the other spouse's AFI. First, you're going to look at how much your needs are versus your shortfall, and then we will look to the husband's income and expenses to see how much he has for the ability to pay. The length of it is going to depend in part on your education, your work history. If you're able to transition easily back into the workforce, then you may get a shorter duration. Alternatively, if you have very little work experience, it's going to be a longer award of spousal maintenance. In many cases, in what we refer to as a long-term marriage, those particular spouses could get indefinite spousal maintenance, or spousal maintenance that would terminate upon your remarriage or death, and that will take you into retirement. Legal custody is very important with the children. Obviously, we have two types of legal custody in Arizona. We have joint legal custody, which basically means you co-parent, you make decisions together regarding the children's education, medical, extracurricular activities, and religion. That's the most common. Occasionally, if the parents can't agree, sometimes one parent will be awarded final decision making after reasonable attempts have been made to reach a decision. And also your parenting plan, which would include the joint custody agreement, may include specific issues regarding that, or give you options in the event you can't reach a decision in terms of going to private mediation, potentially having a parenting coordinator appointed for you to go to when you can't reach agreements before you go back to court. Sole legal custody, that's typically the situation where one parent is a drug user, an alcoholic, has a significant history of domestic violence, or just acts unreasonably to the point it's impossible to co-parent. Then you may be awarded sole legal custody. Now that is not physical parenting time. Parenting time varies in each case. It can go from what we would refer to as an equal access parenting plan, which is roughly 50-50, and that may be week on, week off. It may be what's referred to as a 5-2-2-5. 5 days with mom, 2 days with dad, 2 days with mom, and then 5 days with dad, or variations on that. This is all going to depend on the age of the children, your work schedule, father's work schedule, and physical locations, ultimately doing what's best for the children.